to the public to help with the investigation. Then, new government data released today shows that inflation went up slightly last month. We're going to go over those numbers with you. And Thursday today has been just a beautiful day so far, but the real question is, what is it looking like for Friday Night Football?
On Football Friday night, here they come. The thunderstorms return. They'll be much stronger on Saturday, and we face the potential for very heavy rainfall next week. I'm going to have your forecast. We're live on KTSM 9+, and your news starts right now.
You're watching KTSM 9 News First at 4. Starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+, our digital newscast. I'm Monica Cortez. Let's get straight into those top stories for today. The manhunt continues for the shooter who killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk at an event in Utah yesterday. The FBI released photos of a person of interest earlier today, described as appearing to be of college age. Now, in one of those photos, you can actually see the person walking up a flight of stairs wearing dark pants, a black long-sleeve shirt, a black hat, and black sunglasses. Authorities also said in a news conference earlier today that they had recovered the firearm they believed was used in the shooting in a nearby wooded area. A footprint was also recovered. Now, the FBI office in Salt Lake City is asking the public to submit any tips to 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, the FBI is also releasing a statement saying that they are offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of anyone responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. Well, back at home, a second arrest in the Las Cruces shooting that killed a 19-year-old woman last week. Now, the Las Cruces police tell us that Elijah Zambrano was booked into the Doña Ana County Detention Center yesterday. Jail records indicate he is facing charges of tampering with evidence and aggravated battery that may cause death or great bodily harm. Now, as we've told you, the shooting happened near Celopec Park in Las Cruces last Thursday. Julia Clark was shot and taken to a hospital where she later died. A 19-year-old man who police have yet to identify was also shot. However, his injuries were not believed to be life-threatening. And Socorro police arrested a man for several outstanding warrants, including online solicitation of a minor. 43-year-old Christian Rodriguez was arrested Tuesday, and according to police, Rodriguez was captured through a tip about his location. He was wanted on multiple warrants, including 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance, tampering or fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair, and 3 counts of online solicitation of a minor. And we're learning more about 2 people facing charges after keeping 25 dogs on their property without providing necessary medical care, depriving them of food, resulting in the death of 1 dog. 44-year-old Wayne John Douglas Hayes and 39-year-old Shannon Marie Hayes Inks were arrested, each charged with 2 counts of cruelty to non-livestock animals. According to court documents obtained by KTSM, on September 5th, a worker with the Environmental Department went to a home along the 10,000 block of Dunlap in northeast El Paso. Upon arriving, the official smelled a strong odor of dog urine and feces and saw trash and debris outside and in the backyard. 4 dogs confined in cages. Documents say the officials met with the couple's daughter and came back for a second inspection, where conditions were reportedly worse, with 12 dogs found in backyard cages. That's when Wynn Hayes admitted to having more than 20 dogs on the property. To read more on today's top stories, simply visit KTSM.com. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break from all of today's headlines and take you outside. So today it looks a lot different than it did yesterday. Yesterday we had those really big cumulus clouds. Today just a few here and there. So my biggest question is, are we going to hold dry weather for Friday Night Football? Please say yes. No? What is this, 3 weeks in a row already?
Yes.
Yeah.
It will be the 3rd week where there are potential, not guaranteed, lightning delays for games. So
oh, man.
I know. Well, hey, happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday
We'll
to
enjoy
you.
I know they have a couple of games tonight, I believe, so
Yeah,
it should be
that's true.
clear
Okay.
tonight. So that's good. All right, 94 is the temperature at the airport right now. Feels a little cooler and definitely drier. That dew point has dropped to 45. We've had winds coming in generally from the southeast and east, west side. A little breezy at times. It's going to be a little breezy tonight later as we clear up completely. 92 so far, Las Cruces, 95 Deming, and 95 for Juarez. Satellite radar composite. Now that moisture flow is moved into southeastern Arizona and now moving in to southwestern New Mexico. So there's a slight chance of showers around Silver City tonight, Deming as well. Well, tomorrow that moisture flow lines up with us in the evening hours, so we'll have a chance of, yes, evening thunderstorms. We'll face much stronger storms on Saturday. I'm going to have your detailed forecast coming up in just a little bit. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take you outside using our tech stock cameras, and this is what it looks like. I-10 Porfirio Diaz. Things are moving quite nicely and smoothly in this direction. Not a lot to slow it down. Well, in case you missed it in our earlier newscast, UTEP's Army Reserve Officers Training Corps hosted a 9/11 memorial stair climb. Now, the stair climb memorial was an effort to honor and remember the firefighters, police officers, and emergency medical service staff who selflessly gave their lives for others on September 11th, 2001. Cadets at UTEP say today is an important day of remembrance for our country.
Well, I think it's important to commemorate and remember this day because it shaped the future of America. It was a war that went over 20 years, and it's good to remember the fallen.
Now, the memorial held at UTEP's Sun Bowl brought over 2,000 people to participate in the climb. Well, in national news, the Federal Reserve is keeping a close eye on prices ahead of possible rate cuts next week. In today's Political Minute, News Nation's Blake Berman crunches the latest inflation numbers.
A new read on prices in America. I'm Blake Berman, host of The Hill on News Nation. New government data shows inflation going up slightly in August. The Consumer Price Index rising to 2.9% year over year, up from 2.7% from the month before. Food was among the key drivers behind that number. Energy costs remained relatively low in comparison. Now, here's how things might have changed for you at the store. Some goods going up in their price from the month prior include coffee, fresh vegetables, and ground beef. Some food items seeing a decrease include ham, peanut butter, and poultry. Now, the report comes as the Federal Reserve is set to meet next week to make a key decision on interest rates. Financial markets are largely expecting the Fed to cut rates at that meeting. I'm Blake Berman, and this is the News Nation Political Minute.
Well, police are still looking for the person of interest they say shot and killed Charlie Kirk. And in the meantime, flags are flying half-staff in his honor. We're going to go over your thoughts in today's In the Comments segment. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9+.
we thank you and welcome you to celebrate the 50th anniversary with us. Hashlatine bagotli, hashlatine benagotla.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, flags are lowered to half staff until Sunday after popular conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at an event he was hosting at Utah Valley University. President Donald Trump made the announcement yesterday, moments after confirming Kirk's death. Witnesses say thousands of people gathered at Utah Valley University to hear him speak when someone fired from a rooftop. Kirk's event was the first stop of a multi-state tour. Now it's the last place many will remember seeing him. We, of course, shared this story to all of our social media sites, and a lot of you had lots you wanted to share with us. We're going to begin with Kathy Shannon, who writes, "What about the same consideration for all the other shootings perpetrated by hate?" We also have Connie Rubacalva, who writes, "Did they fly half-staff when the couple congresswomen or the congressmen were killed in Minnesota?" And Sarah Sanchez writes, "I guess we forgot about 9/11. Guessing we have to get over that." Now, a manhunt is still underway at this hour as police try to find the person responsible for killing Charlie Kirk. And here at KTSM, of course, we value your opinion and we want to hear more from you. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. All right, well, if you're from El Paso, you may have heard of DJ Johnny Cage, but do you know the love for music runs in his family? Up next, I spoke with Johnny Cage about what inspired his career. Make sure you're staying with us.
WD Sport Hybrid for $339 a month for 36 months. Visit ElPasoHonda.com for more details.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderland's only certified broadcast meteorologist.
All right, let's take a look at the satellite radar composite. We've cooled slightly. Remember, yesterday's high temperature, 98 degrees, and so far we've only been at 94. You can feel just the slightest difference in the atmosphere as that ridge of high pressure begins to break down. And as the ridge of high pressure breaks down, we're in for thunderstorms. And of course, it wouldn't be a football Friday night without the potential of watching for lightning in the area with evening thunderstorms, which will certainly be the case for tomorrow night. That moisture plume is over southeastern Arizona and southwestern New Mexico right now, but it will realign with the Rio Grande. Now, the best chance of storms will be between El Paso and Las Cruces out toward Deming and Silver City by tomorrow evening. But there is a chance in town that we'll have thunderstorms, and there is a chance for you as well, Las Cruces. With a temperature right now at 92 degrees, the dew point is a very dry 37. But this time tomorrow, I expect that dew point temperature to pop right back up to the 50s. So anticipate a big change in the moisture levels, especially by late tomorrow afternoon. Here are the temperatures in your area right now. We can expect it to be a beautiful night tonight. Yesterday, of course, we saw some little pinpoint showers kind of circling around El Paso County, just out the county line. But tonight, that is not the case. We are much drier, a little breezy at times. Winds coming in from the southeast at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, so west of the mountains, breezy on occasion, not too bad. Here are the temperatures in your area right now. A nice 87 down in Sierra Blanca, a 94 in Del City, 94 out in Vinton right now. Here is your exclusive 9-hour forecast for Friday, and it's Friday. Oh boy. Partly cloudy skies by late in the afternoon. High temperature 93 degrees. A recharging of the moisture, so humidity levels will climb a bit. And yes, a pretty good chance of late day and especially evening thunderstorms. Your allergy forecast has not changed. Still in the high range for the next 3 days at 12, the highest number it can be. Your low temperatures tonight, 63 Alamogordo, 63 Deming, 72 for Juarez, 65 for Van Horn, and high temperatures tomorrow going down. Everybody going down a little bit. 90 Alamogordo, 87 for Deming, 93 for Juarez, and 91 for Van Horn. Tonight for you, Las Cruces, clear skies and 67 degrees, just a fantastic night. Tomorrow, 90 your high temperature with a chance of those evening thunderstorms. If we get rain tomorrow, it would be brief. I suspect tomorrow will be mainly about gusty winds and a little bit of lightning. 72 our low temperature tonight at the International Airport, and we too will face that chance of lightning with brief rain. Now coming up, I'll have your exclusive 9-day forecast. We'll talk about very stormy Saturday, stormier Monday. Stay with us.
sleep easy.
Thanks for watching KTSM 9 News Weekdays.
Welcome back, everyone. So if you're from the 915, then you most have likely heard of DJ Johnny Cage, right? Well, I had the chance to take a walk in the park with him to learn more about what inspired his career. Take a look. Well, we have a very special segment here on KTSM Plus where we're going to highlight very successful and impactful people in the Borderland. And guess who I have with me? None other than DJ Johnny Cage. You know, you are one of those people where they say your name and everyone already knows who you are. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, okay, biggest question. My first question is, why a DJ?
Why DJ? Well, music's always been in my family. My dad's a very talented musician, still to this day. Had an aunt that was in radio, and music's just always been part of our family. So just a DJing, I saw a friend doing it in middle school, and ever since, I've been at it.
And you know, what does it mean to you to know that you've become a staple in El Paso? I mean, how much work went into that?
You know what? It's all for the love of music. It's funny because they're like, oh, DJ, you play other people's music. Yeah, but if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't hear that music from these artists. So that's the thing of it, you know, getting to spread the music, educate, open minds from different music genres. It means a lot, honestly, helping, you know, a lot of the musicians, especially here locally, pushing also local music in some of our mixes. It's been amazing, but it definitely means a lot to have that and carry that. I didn't think this journey would, you know, get to this. My passion turned into my hobby, which turned into my work.
Wow. So I know that it is a very competitive field. I feel like nowadays everyone's a DJ, but it takes special talent to do what you do. Talk a little bit about that.
You know what? It's more of a, you know, like I always tell everyone, you know, when I did this, I didn't even know you could get paid for it. Honestly, I was just like, I'm doing this for the fun, and that's what's kept me so relevant. I mean, I've been in this business for 30 years. It's the passion of music that's really kept my drive going and my motivation going.
You know, when we're talking about, you know, young children who are aspiring to be something in this world and they say, I want to be a DJ, what is your advice to them?
First of all, I always say, go to school. No, on the real, I always tell them, you know what? You got to make sure your heart's in the right place in anything you do. Don't do it for the money, you know, don't do it for, you know, what they call it clout or, you know, the fame, because it's a lot of work. You know, trust me, people see me at my high, but they didn't see me at my lows when I was like, is this gonna work? Oh my God, ¿cómo voy a pagar estos biles? How's this gonna happen? And, you know, it just, you know, God and everything got me through, and my passion and my love for music.
And I'm so glad you said that, because I guess my question to you is, you know, some people say, well, yeah, I'm not rich. I don't have the money. I can't do this as a job. I need something that pays. What would you say to that?
I'm a barrio boy. I grew up in the Lower Valley. I'm living proof that it can happen. You know, you just got to put your heart to it. I tell my son, I tell all the young people that I talk to when I go to schools and do these presentations, I tell them, you know what, you know, have a backup plan, yes, but at the same time, your drive, your love, and your motivation. And for me, my faith in God got me through it all. You know, I come from nothing. I come from, you know, a struggling household that everyone was working, you know, and it was just like I got to see, you know, we ate tortillas and frijoles and whatever there was to eat. And, you know, I like it when the odds are stacked against you because it motivates you more. Like I always tell everyone, you have to taste and know what the bottom feels like when you before you go to the top.
Wow, DJ Johnny Cage, you're such an inspiration to us.
You.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you for having me, and puro party.
I love it. There you go. Successful and impactful people in the Borderland. He is such a great guy, and you know what? We have a little extra piece for you on social media if you want to get to know him more on a deeper level. By the way, you want to catch his act this weekend? He's going to be at Fort Bliss opening up for Buck Cherry for the Let Freedom Sing concert series this weekend on Saturday. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.
anything, anywhere. And for people who aren't afraid to get their hands a little soapy. Find what makes you sizzle with Lodge Cast Iron.
Welcome back, everyone, to KTSM 9 Plus. A day of memorials in New York, Northern Virginia, Pennsylvania, and across the nation as we mark 24 years since terrorists hijacked and crashed 4 commercial airplanes, killing nearly 3,000 people and injuring thousands more. An American flag was unfurled early this morning at the Pentagon to mark the anniversary. The display meant to honor the 184 souls that were lost at the Pentagon on 9/11. President Donald Trump commemorated the anniversary by visiting the Pentagon Memorial this morning, and tonight he's going to head to New York City to attend a Yankees game. Well, here in the Borderland, UTEP's Army Reserve Officers Training Corps hosted a 9/11 stair climb memorial. The event honoring and remembering the firefighters, police officers, and emergency medical services staff who selflessly gave their lives for others on September 11th, 2001. Cadets at UTEP say today is an important one for our country.
I think it's important to commemorate and remember this day because it shaped the future of America. It was a war that went over 20 years, and it's good to remember the fallen.
Over 2,000 people participated in the memorial climb held at UTEP's Sun Bowl. And El Paso ISD also honored the lives lost on September 11th with its annual ceremony. That's so beautiful. Well, this year's event featured a special guest, Colonel Michael Soika, who he is the new garrison commander at Fort Bliss and an ex-officio member of the El Paso ISD Board of Trustees. Earlier this morning, he joined Fort Bliss firefighters in a 110 flight stair climb in memory of first responders and service members. And over at Fort Bliss, volunteers worked at the National Cemetery for Patriot Day. More than 50 volunteers helped clean headstones and beautify the grounds. The effort is part of Carry the Load's annual nationwide Patriot Day event, where thousands of volunteers are expected to participate at nearly 70 national cemeteries across the U.S. Nonprofit Carry the Load also hosts volunteer events for Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Well, to our Austin newsroom now. Students at Utah Valley University won't return to class until Monday after conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed on there Wednesday. Now, students at universities here in Texas continue their classes as usual this week, but some are expressing concerns about their safety at future political events. Capitol correspondent Dylan McKim has the story.
Governor Greg Abbott ordered flags at half-mast following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The conservative activist was debating students on a college campus when he was shot in the neck. The shooting shocked the nation, including students at the University of Texas at Austin's chapter of the Young Conservatives of Texas.
I'm definitely concerned.
Ethan Hsu is the executive director of UT Austin's chapter.
I think we're definitely going to be requesting more security measures at our events that we hold, especially if we're inviting controversial speakers.
At the Utah campus where Kirk was killed, there were no restrictions on who could be at the event. But a new Texas law implemented this year limits who is allowed to assemble on college campuses for expressive activities. Outdoor areas are now labeled as limited public forums, where only students and faculty associated with the university can assemble for expressive activities. Hsu said his student group may have to regroup, but they have no plans to stop their activism.
Hopefully going forward, this won't impact our desire to make our voices heard on campus.
In Austin, I'm Dylan McKim.
Well, we reached out to the university systems for the University of Texas, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech to ask them how they ensure only students and faculty are assembling in expressive activities on campus. We did receive a response from the University of Texas at Austin. A spokesperson said any off-campus individual or group who violates the law could be subject to criminal trespass charges. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look outside now using our TechStock camera. So as you can tell, those are not rain clouds. I don't see any rain clouds in our area today. But does that mean we're off the hook for Friday night football, Robert?
No, it does not. Monica, I need to get a bumper sticker that says, I brake for pretty clouds. Because last night I really did on Constitution. Really? Yeah, I slammed on my brake. It was the sun setting, and there was also a little cumulonimbus, but it was evaporating before it hit the ground.
Oh my gosh, so
right
beautiful.
Together. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Is it on your social media? Can we see it?
No, I aired it at 10. But Andy said, wow, I've never seen anything like it. 94 degrees at the airport right now. No little drops coming down at this point. Dew point 45, 19%. And see, she set me up to plug my social media. That's why she has 300,000 followers. Just kidding. 92 Las Cruces, 95 Deming, 95 so far for Juarez and Alamogordo as well. That moisture is coming back just in time for football Friday night. We'll see those thunderstorms forming. So the storms tomorrow mainly will be focused on lightning and gusty winds, with Saturday bringing much stronger thunder showers and brief heavy rainfall. Of course, the day I'm concerned is not on this quick forecast. I'll tell you which day I'm worried about coming up in just a bit. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Well, in case you missed it, a troubling trend with our nation's future at the center. A recent report showing high school seniors and 8th graders failing to hold ground in core subjects. Now, our KTSM 9 News reporter Tirza Ortiz, she looked into the report and spoke with education experts on what can be done.
Reading and science, these are just a handful of the core subjects that students across the nation need to master before moving on to higher education. But based on a new report by the National Report Card, it's looking like those students are not meeting the benchmark.
In the classrooms, they're really working with the kids playing catch up. And so that really affects them as far as moving forward.
Playing catch up when they should be on track. The most recent report from the National Assessment of Education Progress shows children nationwide are falling behind academically on core curriculum.
We're seeing in all of those areas that the students seem to be falling further behind when we do our initial assessments, and that it's taking them longer to catch up, particularly those students that missed a lot of the foundations during the COVID time and the online instruction.
Compared to 2019, average scores for high school seniors in math and reading were lower, with only 22% of 12th graders meeting national standards in math and 35% in reading. For 8th graders, only 31% performed at or above proficient levels. Ridholm says these numbers aren't surprising, with the impacts of the pandemic still influencing in-person learning.
It's been more difficult for them to catch up, and they seem to be sliding back. Reading particularly affects everything. And we're seeing a lot of those students that are coming in that should be reading fluently that are just struggling to read right now.
She says progress is possible, but it'll take extra time and an at-home support system.
The kids love to be on their devices, but the interaction with the parent is very important. As a parent, you can see what they're doing and how things are going. And of course, looking for some outside resources if they need that extra support.
Other than online learning, the report highlights absenteeism as another potential factor, with the number of absent students in schools rising among all age groups since the pandemic. Tirza Ortiz, KTSM 9 News.
Tirza, thank you. Meanwhile, prices consumers pay for a variety of goods and services moved higher than expected in August. The Consumer Price Index posted a seasonally adjusted 0.4% increase for the month, the biggest gain since January, putting the annual inflation rate at 2.9%. The Labor Department also reported a surprise increase in weekly unemployment compensation filings to a seasonally adjusted 263,000, the highest since October 2021. The news sends challenging economic signals for the Federal Reserve as it weighs an interest rate drop during its meeting next week. Well, major safety changes are coming to one of the biggest AI platforms. OpenAI says parental controls will be added to ChatGPT, and in Texas, two families are taking legal action against a different AI platform which they say hurt their children's mental health. Keenan Willard explains the claims they're making about the potential risks young people face from chatbots.
As the wave of AI chatbots spreads across the internet, there are new calls to make these tech tools safer for children.
ChatGPT, as well as all these other models, were kind of unleashed on the world. And like every new technology, people don't think about the unintended consequences.
OpenAI announced their popular platform ChatGPT will soon offer parental controls. The announcement coming after the first wrongful death lawsuit against the company, where the parents of a California 16-year-old accused ChatGPT of aiding their son in his suicide. The company says the new controls will let parents link to teens' accounts and get alerts when ChatGPT detects signs of acute distress.
These AI models need to have controls in place to keep our children safe. And I've got a 14 and 11-year-old, and I'm very cautious what I give them access to.
Here in Texas, new claims against another platform called Character AI. In a lawsuit filed in East Texas, two families say their children accessed the role-playing bot and later had to be hospitalized for mental health treatment.
This Character AI character encouraged him to cut himself, told him that his parents didn't love him, and ultimately encouraged him to kill his parents.
Screenshots from the suit claim to show part of a teen boy's conversation with Character AI, in which the bot says, "I'm not surprised when I read the news and see stuff like child kills parents after a decade of abuse. I just have no hope for your parents." The suit also claims after the teen's parent found cuts on his arm, their son told them that the Character AI product had told him how to self-harm. The suit also involves claims from the parent of an 11-year-old girl, claiming Character AI exposed her consistently to hypersexualized interactions that were not age-appropriate, causing her to develop sexualized behaviors prematurely. The families are suing to have Character AI taken off the market until the company can establish that the public health and safety defects have been fixed.
Currently, this platform has no place in the hands of young people. It should be inaccessible to young people.
NBC5 reached out to Character AI for a response to the claims in the lawsuit and the call for their platform to be shut down due to insufficient safety measures for kids. In response, a Character AI spokesperson says, "Our goal is to provide a space that is engaging and safe. We are always working toward achieving that balance, as are many companies using AI across the industry. As part of this work, we launched Parental Insights, a tool that provides parents and guardians insight into their teens' engagement with the platform, including daily average time spent, top characters interacted with, and time spent with each character. We've launched a separate version of our model for under 18 users. That model is designed to further reduce the likelihood of these users encountering or prompting the model to return to sensitive or suggestive content." Some critics say those changes don't go far enough.
They're too little and they're too late. And they do not protect kids.
Well, coming up, urging school districts across the country not to allow U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents to enter schools or work. We hear from you, the viewers, in our In the Comments segment. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9, putting local first.
touchable skin.
Your local weather authority, Robert Bettis, the Borderlands' only certified broadcast meteorologist.
Well, happy Thursday, everyone. Up in Ruidoso right now, here's a live picture. Now it's quiet. They have the same cloud cover we do down here. Only thing is tomorrow that's going to change with widely scattered showers and thunder showers, the potential for some fairly heavy rainfall, especially on Saturday and Monday. Those are the days that concern me the most in the next few days. 81 is the temperature right now, dew point 34, so it dried out nicely. It was a little breezy this morning, and you could feel that drier feel in the air today. 92 so far, Las Cruces, 95 Juarez and Deming, 95 for Alamogordo, 81 Ruidoso, 71 in Cloudcroft. Let's check other high temperatures across the southwest so far today. 96 Austin, 93 Dallas, out in Phoenix 102, up in Albuquerque 90 degrees. Now here comes your exclusive 9-hour forecast for tomorrow. Yes, just in time for football Friday night. Here come those thunderstorms back. Now, the thunderstorms tomorrow might produce some brief rainfall. However, I think they're more likely to produce some lightning and gusty winds, one of those types of days, or evenings rather. And then on Saturday, we'll get the potential for much stronger thunder showers and heavier rainfall. You can see that moisture starting to move back into New Mexico as we speak. These storms are already starting to crop up between Silver City and Deming right now. They've got the best shot tonight of getting a little bit of rainfall. Still quite a bit of ways along I-10 near Lordsburg out toward Tucson, Arizona. We'll keep that moisture flow lines up with us perfectly starting tomorrow, and it reaches its maximum on Saturday, while we'll see so many thunder showers that evening with the potential for heavy rainfall. Here are the temperatures right now in your neighborhood. Beautiful tonight. We have about 15 clouds out there, and that will clear out beautifully for tomorrow. Here's your allergy forecast. 12s for the next few days, highest range. Tonight for you, Las Cruces, clear skies, 67 degrees the low. And then tomorrow, high temperature 90 with that chance of evening thunderstorms. Expect a low tonight of 72 at the International Airport and clear. And then tomorrow we'll pop up to about 93 degrees. You're going to feel an increase in the moisture, especially by lunchtime tomorrow afternoon. Now, only KTSM gives you 9 full days of weather. On Saturday, potential for brief heavy rainfall, more widely scattered thunder showers that day with a high of only 90. Very muggy. Sunday, it stabilizes for a day, so I'll put in a slight chance, but we kind of take a day off. But then a series of low pressure systems moves through on Monday, and that is going to mean 86 as a high with the potential for very heavy rainfall out of some storms that day. Monday is the day that concerns me the most. We'll downgrade that to slight chance Tuesday, isolated storms Thursday, but look at those highs. A fall-like feel Monday through Wednesday, only in the 80s. Monica.
Robert, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and send you outside using our tech stock cameras. This is I-10 Yarborough, so it does look like there is an incident over to the shoulder of that area, and as you can tell, traffic is building up. The reason I say that is because you can see the lights of what looks to be ambulances, maybe cop cars, over to the shoulder, so that is slowing down drivers. It doesn't seem like there's any roads closed. It's just the looky-loos that are holding up traffic. Either way, if this is your commute, just know that traffic is backed up passing I-10 Viscount, so it's going to take you a while to get through that congestion. Well, a national coalition of civil rights and immigrant rights organizations is urging school districts across the country not to allow U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents to enter schools or work with local law enforcement agencies that assist ICE. Now, this all comes after the U.S. Supreme Court on Monday lifted a restraining order that clears the way for federal agents to conduct sweeping immigration operations in Los Angeles. Civil rights organizations fear racial profiling and arrests of students will follow based on skin color and language accents and could affect children and families fearful of going to schools unless they are assured of safe spaces. Now, we did share the story all over our social media accounts, and many of you had lots of thoughts you wanted to share with us. We're going to start with Jenny Serna, who writes, "Protect innocent children. Keep schools safe. Imagine your child going through the same. How will you feel?" Jody Walker says, if you're in this country without the consent of our government, arriving here while not following the laws we have set forth, you have no rights. And Rudy Garcia says, do not forget racial profiling is now approved by the Supreme Court on all Latinos. God bless America. Now, ICE agents can enter schools, but they must have a judicial warrant signed by a judge. Just last week, the Trump administration announced it will reimburse a portion of the salary and benefit costs for local and state law enforcement officers who help ICE with these arrests. Well, here at KTSM, we of course value your opinion and we want to hear more from you. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Expert tips from your student doc. Sponsored by Borerland College of Osteopathic Medicine. Differences between asthma attacks and panic attacks.
Hey everybody, I'm Sidney Alvarez here with 4 tips for telling asthma attacks from panic attacks with student Dr. Maya Rodemaker of Borerland College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Thanks, Sid. Panic and asthma attacks can feel similar, so knowing your triggers ahead of time can help you respond quickly. Tip number 1, recognize your trigger. Asthma triggers may include smoke, allergens like pet dander, or certain medications. Panic attack triggers can be stress or stimulants like too much caffeine. Tip number 2, know your symptoms. Both can cause shortness of breath, chest pain, sweating, and trouble speaking. Panic attacks often include fear of losing control, shaking, or feeling detached. Asthma attacks can bring coughing, mucus, and wheezing. Tip number 3, be prepared. For asthma, keep an inhaler handy. Consider having extras in key places. For panic attack, practice grounding techniques like deep breathing so you're ready before stress hits. And Sid, for tip number 4, ask for help. Build a support network and let friends, family, and healthcare providers know your symptoms. This makes it easier to get help and create a management plan.
Thank you, Maya. For more information on osteopathic medicine, visit borel.edu.
Expert tips from your student doc. Sponsored by Borerland College of Osteopathic
Friday at 10:15 p.m. Sponsored by Rice Federal Credit Union.
Here is a last look at the forecast. High temperature tomorrow, 93 as temperatures continue to go down. Now tomorrow is Football Friday night. Here come the thunderstorms. Watch out for lightning and gusty winds. Saturday, thunder showers with brief heavy rainfall. A pretty Sunday with only a slight chance of storms. And I'm concerned about Monday. Monica.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll keep a very close eye on the forecast and, of course, be tuning in with Mr. Robert Bettis. That's it for me. I'm Monica Cortez. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.